Here goes nothing. So, good afternoon. I'm recording this again because the last one was too long. So, good afternoon. Before starting my presentation, I would like to briefly provide some context regarding my professional practice. Although this lesson was designed for second year high school students and is aligned with the orientation curriculum, during my professional practice I did not have regular orientation lessons assigned to me. Instead, I mainly participated in advisory pairs with fourth-year students. In my school context, most orientation related activities were conducted by the orientation department or external programs such as HPV, that is Habilidades para la Vida. Therefore, my role was generally limited to supporting and monitoring students rather than leading orientation lessons directly. For that reason, these lessons represent a pedagogical proposal based on the official curriculum and the needs identified during my professional practice. The title of these lessons, as you can see there, is Understanding Sexuality, Effective Relationships, and Diversity. My name is Carlos Sandoval. I'm your presenter. This class and this presentation is for my professional practice to become an English teacher from the Universidad Católica de la Santísima Concepción. So, the class structure. The learning objective. Analyze and discuss sexuality and affective relationships based on respect, responsibility, and care for self and others, considering health, intimacy, and physical emotional integrity. The duration is 45 minutes or one module, one class module, and the grade level is for second grade in high school. I choose them because they were part of my uh, evaluation in the university. The learning objectives, I have four. So by the end of the session, the students will be able to distinguish diverse forms of establishing romantic and intimate relationships based on integrity and well-being. Determine the importance of respecting their own intimacy, physical, and emotional well-being in the context of sexuality and effective relationships. Explain topics related to sexuality and effective relationships in terms of integrity and well-being of all human beings. Promote strategies to address various problems related to sexuality and effective relationships in social contexts. The students' needs and interests. What is relevant? Because they are teenagers. They have rapid physical, emotional, and social changes. They are discovering themselves. They are feeling themselves as someone different. So identity development. Questions about who am I, including sexual orientation and gender identity. Peer influence, relationships, and sexuality become increasingly important. Um, Misinformation. They need the need for accurate, respectful information and where they get them, where they get it. Sorry. Diversity, LGBTQ plus inclusion, and breaking stereotypes, and the well-being, understanding healthy versus unhealthy relationships. This is all linked. Why? Because again, they are developing as a new person, as new people. They're discovering themselves. They have identity development. I mean, I had a lot of people switching from one activity to another or from someone to another one. And I have experienced that. I have seen that in the school. The peer influence, we have to teach them that they don't have to feel pressure to do something that other people is doing, and even that people is doing that because if he or she feel pressure too, and that is not something that they have to replicate. Misinformation. Most of them live their lives with just saying or for information that they hear from someone that is not, I mean, that is not a good source. It's just a person. They had no social background, no academic background. It's just someone that they listen to. And the diversity, because we have a lot of people expressing themselves and a lot of people bullying themselves, bullying someone else for that. I mean, nothing up front, luckily, but their backs, and I have to correct a lot of students with that. It's not correct to do this. It's not correct to call someone that because that leaves something in their mind that is okay or normalize that. And the well-being again, because they have to understand what is good and what is wrong. in our relationship. The timeline, we have the opening, two developments, and one closing. The activity for opening, think per share. What does healthy love look like? The interactive discussion, diversity in relationships. For development part two, small group activity, meet or reality, and closing a reflection and commitment. Materials and resources. We have four: whiteboard markers for concepts, ideas, or modeling by drawing, printed cards, meet or reality statements, chart paper for group work, and index cards for reflection activity. Class part one, the opening. Think, pair, share. Activity. What does healthy love look like? The instruction is to think, pair, and share. And think for 2 minutes. Write down three characteristics of a healthy romantic affective relationships that they think that is a healthy relationship. They pair, they share with a partner, and they find two common ideas. Then they share with the class. For that, we can choose a random students or accepting volunteers. The teacher guide. We listen for teams, we respect, we trust. We listen for teams, respect, trust, communication, equality, consent, any of them. We gently correct stereotypes, for example, jealously, jealousy, that is not equal love. We affirm that diverse relationship forms exist. And the guiding question for them: what's the difference between love and control? Can love exist in different forms? I mean, most can associate love with having a boyfriend, a girlfriend, or having sex, even. I don't know. They have to express that opinion. And the opening transitions. Today we're exploring how to build healthy relationships based on respect, responsibility, and care for ourselves and others. Will also talk about diversity, different orientations, identities, and ways people express love. And there is the connection to students' lives that relationships do you have now? Friendships, crushes, family, boyfriends, girlfriends, anything that is within a relationship. Decision you make about intimacy and boundaries, understanding and respecting people different from you. The class part two, interactive discussion, diversity in relationships. What is diversity in effective relationships? We include everything from sexual orientation, all the spectrum, to gender identity, all the types of genders, relationship forms, monogamy, long distance, friendships, etc., and cultural differences. How cultures, how different cultures express affection, and from that part, from that cultural differences, we can even ask them because we know the students know more than us from certain aspects of life. So maybe they have more information. We can ask them, or we can mention something. Discussion prompts. We have four discussion prompts. What does it mean to be LGBTQ plus? Can someone orientation or gender identity change? Why is respect for diversity important? What if someone in our school is LGBTQ plus? Sorry, how should we treat them? And the possible answers and are in green. Regardless of the answers, we affirm all responses as valid and without personal judgment. The key concepts: intimacy and consent. The intimacy does not equal only sex. That is something that we have to establish from the beginning. The intimacy includes emotional, physical, intellectual, and spiritual. So, four concepts there that they can now, that they have experience and they can, well, they have to give consent for everything. That is very important. So, they have to give an enthusiastic, informed yes. And that yes must be free, no pressure or coercion, must be ongoing, can change, be withdrawn, must be clear, not assume, must respect boundaries. So this part is important, especially in the intimacy concepts, because the kids nowadays are more open, more, I don't know, in Spanish we say cariñosos, more open to you. We have students hugging us, sharing things, inviting us to church, having deep conversations with us. They trust us, and we have to be a professional teacher and respond to that. And well, in our case, we cannot say, and we cannot give an informed yes after they are already hugging us, after they're already having conversation with us. But we have to be the adults there and just listen to them and correct if they're saying something inappropriate or something that maybe threaten their lives or the dignity of them or someone else. So we have to be the adults there. So we continue with personal integrity in relationships. We show them what to do, what is to do and don't. So they do. Luckily, they do all of that, all of the things that appear in the screen. And the don'ts, they already know that thing. So that is really positive, at least for me to see. I mean, sometimes they drift they drift from these ideas, but we can take them back and already teach them what they already know. So that is not something that I experienced during my time in high school many years ago, but it's something that is more common nowadays. Because if you don't, you feel the social consequences, the academic consequences, because the school also doesn't allow these things to happen nowadays. I mean, they're all involved: family, friends, classmates, teachers, psychologists, social workers. Everyone is involved to allows that the do happens and the don't happen. So continue. The class part three, development two. Small group activity, myth or reality. We divide the class in three, four groups. Each group receives three cards with statements. Task, decide, myth or reality, and let's explain why. In this class context, we have at least 25 or 26 students, so we can make more groups it if it is necessary. But it's not something final. And of course, the class is in Spanish. This is not an English class. That is an orientation class. So must be in Spanish if we are going to make this class. So what is the statement? The card number two. If someone doesn't say no, it means yes to sexual activity. I will leave to the listener, the one who has seen this video, to answer. But that is the possible answers that I try to say. The card number two, sexual orientation can be cured through therapy or religion. Again, that is something, all the answers that the students must give, it is depending to the context and well, we can, it's up to us if we decide that is valid or not. But in this case, I put it that is a myth, even though I'm part of our religion, but I know that my students maybe not, or maybe yes, I don't know. But I don't allow at least in my classes for extremists, for extremes. So I guess it's the only card that I will explain is a myth, because sexual orientation is not a disorder. Attempts to change it cause psychological harm, and I've seen it, but it is up to them and up to the teacher. The card number three, transgender people are just confused. It's a phase. Card number four, you can get pregnant the first time you have sex. Card number five, healthy relationships require total privacy, no outside support needed. Card six, it's normal to feel confused about sexuality or gender during adolescence, during your teenager phase. So, those are the statements. And group discussion debrief. After groups say their answers aloud, one answer per group only, we emphasize as teachers in the accuracy. Respect is non-negotiable. Support is available. And the question for reflections are, where do we get information about sexuality? It is always accurate. And how can be allies to LGBTQ plus friends? So the information. This the only question that I will address is the first one, because this lesson is aligned with the orientation curriculum, but it's also aligned with the curriculum of the normal curriculum for the activities. So we will teach them where to get information. They have to provide sources, correct sources for the information. So by doing that, we prevent them from delivering us delivering us just a work that the AI do. The AI did, sorry. And they have to provide sources and explain those sources and why it is important, why that source is important. So that relates or that translates into this activity, and this is this activity that talks about their their own lives. They have to know that not everyone that is in the internet or because it is in a specific page is correct. They have to know what is behind that. The class part 4 closing. So the reflection activity is called My Commitment to Respect, and it's individual reflection. They have to choose an index cards and just complete one. And the option, the students place the card in a box, the teacher reads aloud, or they share voluntarily. So these index cards can be delivered through paper, or just can we can write the statements in the whiteboard. They have to choose one, number two, statement number two, or index card number option one, and they write their answer. That is that. The key takeaways of the summary, what we learned that healthy about healthy relationships, about diversity, and everyone's deserves dignity, the intimacy, and your body, your identity, your boundaries, that is equals your choice. The resources and support, we mentioned again that if they need support, they have questions, that there are school counselors, convivencia escolar, orientation teachers, or school psychologists, trusted teachers, or assistants. So I was part of a trusted teachers for a lot of my students. So I know secrets that they told me, and I my own. I mean, as I was an adult, as I am an adult, and I'm a professional, I am a teacher. I try to listen to them and to give advice most neutral as possible, not to not send the students into doing something stupid or something that affect them or the people that they are having a problem with. I don't know. And I did not mention, I suppose, that any outside school support organizations in this presentation and during my professional practice places or people provided, as I do not trust them enough or I do not have enough information about them to say, my dear students, to them. So I know that the school makes an effort into this, to address everyone's problems. So I only trust the school people. That means teachers, psychologists, social workers, directors, everyone included, everyone that works in the school, has to try to resolve their personal stuff, their personal things with them, not outside school support organizations. That is not my my goal to achieve with it. The closing circle is one word closing. I will go around the room. Everyone shares one word describing how they feel after this session. Inform, respect, curious, empower. And my final message for them was your this question matters, sorry. Your identity matters. Your boundaries matter. And this is a safe space to learn and grow. Bibliography on sources, of course, bases curriculares, um, for orientation, la UNESCO, Fundación Niño, Misión Niño Jesús, that is just a video, and the Minute. And that is my presentation. And just for that, I'm going to present my planification from class 1 that is already uploaded on the drive long time ago. And again, here's in Spanish, the OO number 2 from the orientation program. The objective of the class, the students analyze and reflection about sexuality, affected, uh, affective links, and diversity from a perspective of respect and integral. And the, I don't know the words there. So, and that is my presentation. Thank you for your